Well, hello. This video is going to be for the A-pillar landing, which is a very special part of this cage. So the A-pillar is a tricky cut to begin with. You have to be able to cut this off and not destroy everything around it, right? So I made a mistake on that side. I made a mistake on this side. It's really easy to do, right? On the driver's side, I nicked some wires on this harness on the other side, and on this side, I hit the plastic pretty good. So just be prepared to screw up, and you're gonna have to be okay with it. But as far as the A-pillar itself, I want to make this video to show you what I did, because the instructions are good and they work. The guy that wrote the instructions is super smart, and he knows what he's doing. So just this is just my take on the install, not to take anything away from that person. So this is the billet A-pillar insert, if you will. So this insert has got to go into and slide all the way into the A-pillar like this. Okay. There's 3 holes in the bottom, and those 3 holes are used to hold this bracket right here. What I keep dropping, I've dropped it about 4 times today, and it goes right there. Okay. So this material is some of the hardest shit I've ever had to drill through. It's not even that thick. But let me tell you how many drill bits and that I've gone through and broke trying to drill these holes. And it's unreal. So I'll show that at the end of the video. I got a pile of drill bits over there. I've gone through all of these, and when the instructions say to drill it incrementally, yes, if you can get a drill bit set, a carbide set that goes up in 64ths of an inch or even 32nds of an inch, buy that. Don't buy the kit that goes from, the smallest bit up to the 1/2 inch in 8 bits. Right? You're going to need a whole index full of carbide bits, unless you just like an index like this. Unless you're just going to be incredibly frustrated. Do not buy these things. So these Stinger Mach Blue, I am so disappointed in these. You can see I broke that one, and this one's just dull as shit. The other 2 here I've tried, and one ear on each bit broke off. They're not what I thought they were going to be. So anyway, I guess while we're here, there's my pile of broken bits right there. Anyway, so let's get back to the A-pillar. So the A-pillar measurements are kind of hard to get because all this shit is in the way. So what you really want to do is take your billet piece, and you want to draw a line down the center of it. I used my straight edge. You want to draw a line with a Sharpie, and then you want to mark how many millimeters it is from the edge to the center of that hole. So this was 126 millimeters. And what I ended up doing was putting this insert in here like this, and then I transposed that line down the A-pillar itself, the A-pillar, what's left of it anyway. I transposed that line all the way down with my straight edge. And then I measured, after I got this in here, you got to measure from the center of the top hinge bolt to the top of the insert, and it has to be 11 inches and 11 5/16 inches. So once you measure that, right, you tap this in, get it to where the right measurement here, then you come over here and measure 126 millimeters down and find the center line, and then drill your hole, your first hole, right there. After you do that, then you want to screw in the bracket. I'm going to bolt this bracket on, make sure it's tight, and then the blue line in the bottom hole, you're going to want to center, you're going to move this back and forth. Let me switch hands here. you're going to move this back and forth after you get this tight, because it's going to move a little bit, and you want to center the blue line back up with the bottom hole. And then, since this material is so hard, I was just using a Sharpie for the first ones, but I got one of these punches here that work really well for centering drill bits. Right. So after you do that, right, and then you got 2 holes, which will take you an hour or 5, depending on your bit and your bits and your drill and many other factors. As you can see, I cut my sheet metal. I got frustrated because this stuff right here was in the way, so I just took a Sawzall and just cut it and then smashed it against the rest of the body. And I'll just spray paint this shit when I get done. That stuff's in the way. It's in the way of any drill. Out of the 4 drills I have, nothing would work without moving that. And so you can take that lesson and use it or not, but that's this right here is out of frustration and necessity. And I'm telling you, there's no way to make it work unless you just cut a relief for the drill bit, which I was going to do, but then the head of the drill wouldn't go deep enough. At least mine, anyway. You could buy extra long bits, I guess. Anyway, so after you tighten these 2, then you come over here and then mark the center of the hole there and drill this one. It is a frustrating experience because of how hard this material is and how slow you have to go and all of that. So I've done a lot of messing around, but I started drilling the 10 holes required. I've still got 2 more to go at about 8:30 this morning, right? And it's, I don't know, it's after 7:30 tonight. So it's I probably messed around quite a bit, so I would bank on it and on 4 to 6 hours probably just to drill these holes. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, they suck. All right, so the top 2 holes have to be drilled for the pins that hold the cage itself, the cage pins itself. I'm going to show you how to do that. So take the insert back out. This is hard to do with one hand. There we go. Take the insert back out and then grab you a bolt, a longer bolt. There we go. Put it in the bottom hole here. This is after you've test fit this whole bracket, making sure that everything is right. Put that bolt in there. Draw another line down the center of these holes. Slide this in here, and it'll hit that bolt, right? So now you can draw center line there, and you can transpose the line to the rest of the A-pillar. Now these numbers are millimeters from the top of this down the blue line to the center of the hole. So all I have to do is put the insert in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it in, just to make sure all my three holes are lined up, and then I'm going to measure 19 millimeters down and use my center punch, and then 45 millimeters down and hit the center punch there and drill 2 holes. These holes have to be through holes. They need to be big enough because the head of the bolt that holds the pin needs to torque against the adapter itself and not the A-pillar. And the pin I'm talking about, I'll show you that real quick before I end the video. It's a long video. Sorry about that. Let's see. Is this piece here. So this piece is the pin that slides into here. Like so. So this pin will slide in, and there's your holes. Right? And it's a pain. It's a pain to get it all right. I think it would be easy, but I'm telling you it is not. I'm telling you to plan a whole day just for preparing the A-pillar and getting the A-pillar landing set right. You start in the morning, mid-morning, eat lunch, you might be done by dinner. All right, sorry for such a long video. It's 10 minutes of me rambling, but this is going to be one of the most frustrating points of the whole project. So I would, at least so far, I would say A-pillar, drilling the A-pillar is definitely the most frustrating. Second most would be getting the insulation out of these panels when I did the C-pillar plates. And then after that would be getting the block underneath the B-pillar plate to sit flush with the body. But it's all doable, right? It's all doable. Obviously, just patience and take your time, but it's frustrating. Just be prepared to be frustrated. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.